Hello there. Yes, it's me again, wanting to make a little bit of a difference in your lives to see if I can shed some light on something for you that will make May month an amazing month for you. So, yes, we're in May already. Can you believe it? We're going into winter here in South Africa. We've been having a lot of rain, very unusual, but not unwelcome. So let us get going and see what May has in store for us. All right. Okay, so May 2026, and Janet's Numerology presents Decode Your Month, Personal Year Wisdom and Oracle Insight. So May 2026, the current year, 2026, adds up to 10, and 1 and 0 is 1. So it's a 1 year in our cycles of 1 to 9. 2026 is a 1 year, so beginning of a new cycle. And 10 is success, blessings, lots of good things coming our way. And like I always say, it shifts first on the energetic level before you will see it in your physical world around you. Just know that it's there. And then for May, the global month is a 6 month, but it's backed by the number 15. So the 10 personal year, 10 global year, plus May being the 5th month of the year, 10 and 5 is 15, and 1 and 5 is 6. So global year, this is for everybody worldwide, is a 1, and the global month is a 6. But I need to talk a little bit about this number 15 behind the number 6. So 1 says, forge ahead, get going, it's yang, it's action, it is set your goals, it is the sky's not the limit, it's only the beginning, it's going where no one's been before and doing it in a way that no one's done it before. And so a nice way to put it is you're going to be making roads where there was only jungle. And once you've made that road, other people can travel along it behind you. And so that's where we are now. Those that have been called to do so will be building the new roads along which humanity will travel in the future. And that's happening this year. And so the 6th global month, 6 is a month of responsibility, of home, of family, of domestic stuff, of expansion. So it may also be a month in which people may fall pregnant very easily this month, because the 6 is a fertile, expansive kind of month in which things grow, but it is an emotional month. And what it will call on you to do is to set up your boundaries and to see where you are giving too much of yourself. And that's where the 15 is going to come in and amplify it. Because this 5 here likes to burn the candle at both ends. It likes to be busy, 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 too many irons in too many fires. It's a mental number, an air number. 1 is a mental number and an air number. And the 6 is saying, just stay home. Just give attention to your relationships. Yes, your business can still expand and all of those things, but give some attention to the people around you. Beautify your home. Cook a meal for those you love. Read bedtime stories to your children. Just do a little bit of domesticated, homely, loving things. And the 15 is going about, what about me? I want to do my own thing as well. And the 5 is saying, I have got places to go, things to do, people to meet. And so the 6 and the 15 fight with each other all the time, and this creates a lot of guilt. Now, bear in mind that guilt is a very, very low frequency. I think it sits at about 30. On a scale of 0 to 1,000, it sits on about 30. And guilt is just a very low vibration. It's going to pull you right down. So what this 5 is asking you to do is to find the balance between number 1, me, myself, and I, and number 6, my family, my loved ones, my children, my spouse, my lover, my parents, and that is what you're going to be called to do this month. Now, the 15-6 is the number that I always say, it wants to have its cake and eat it. It wants to be a home, but it also wants to be out and about. And so it's got this push and pull. It feels guilty because when it's at home, its mind is out there about what it wants to be doing and where it wants to be going and work that it wants to be doing. And then when it's at work, it feels so guilty because it's got these precious people at home that love them and miss them. And so they always feel torn between the two. And so this 15-6 is all about movement, new places, new things to do. And the 6 is about home. And so you can see the picture here. You can see people moving all over the globe. It may come as a result of work that they're doing, and they may decide to take their families with them, either to travel with them or to relocate. But I'm already seeing a lot of people that are relocating across the globe. And remember, 2026, I've said from the beginning of this year, 26 is partnerships with those that you love. 26 adds up to 8. So this is a year for family business. So you might find that a lot of people are moving either to be closer to family or to be with family, or perhaps the family's moving and they're moving into the family home. All kinds of things can be happening, but the focus is family business. The focus is moving to see where your place in the world is. So May 2026, I've titled Choosing Your World. Work and travel open doors to fresh places and possibilities. And in May, many of us will question where we live and work as fresh opportunities call us beyond old comfort zones. So for you to find what section of this video you need to listen to, you need to take your day and your month number, right? So if you're born on the 10th of July, you'll take 10 plus 7, which is 17. And then if you go to the right, you will see that your personal year is a 9. And then you will go forward on the video to personal year 9. And it will tell you that your personal month is a 5-month. So what you're looking for is what is your personal year, and that is how you will select the section of this video that pertains to you for May. So you may want to pause here. You may want to make sure that you're adding it up correctly and that you know exactly what your personal year is for the entire 2026. So you can listen to my audio on YouTube or read my blog on my website titled When the Power Comes Home. It will give you more insight into what is happening with 2026 according to the numerology. So I've pre-selected the cards for each personal month reading because it takes me a while to do it. I do it by using muscle testing, and so it's not such a quick process. So I've pre-selected the cards. What's interesting is that there are 2 cards that repeated. There are 56 cards in the deck, but there are 2 cards that repeated for 2 different months each. And so I find that quite interesting because there are so many cards to select from. So that's not a coincidence. And so I will select a card for the global energy of May using muscle testing. and that I'll do live so that you can see exactly how I go about it. Let me just stop sharing so that you can see live. Okay, so I'm shuffling. What I also found interesting this month was that when I was shuffling, the cards really wanted to move fast. Like I couldn't just do a slow shuffle, and every time I wanted to stop shuffling, it was like, no, you need to shuffle some more. You need to shuffle some more. Get those cards moving. And I was like, why? And then I was like, it's at number 15. The 1 and the 5, both of them. And being in a 1 year as well. And so you can see these cards just, they want to move, boy. Okay, let me know when this is enough. Okay, enough. All right. So if you watch this finger here, you will see our muscle testing here. Okay, so process of elimination, this one, that one indicates. Okay, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, inspired earth angel, number 29. Okay, that's interesting. That's interesting. 29. That's to do with light workers. A lot of light workers have that number 2911 too, because they're all earth angels. It doesn't mean with the number 2911 too that you walk around with your angel wings and your halo and you go around being this little angelic figure. It just means that you take the light in with you wherever you go. You anchor the light, you bring it in, you ripple it out. And so that is what you need to be doing this month. That is what we need to be doing. We need to be taking our light in to wherever it is that we're going and moving, and whether it's work, whether it's home, we need to be taking that light in. So let me just muscle check here which section of this to read. The first, second, third, and the fourth. The first and the fourth paragraphs. Okay. So this card whispers to you today, gently reminding you that your purpose is grander than you can yet see. And it's time to align with your soul's true tribe. Okay, got it. Now I know why this has come up. Because of this global movement that's happening, and that is why it's aligning with your soul's true tribe. You are an earthly angel, a radiant being on a sacred mission. Your light flows effortlessly as you are meant to simply be. So 2911-2 is a number where you just have to be. The light bulb doesn't know that it's shining. It doesn't have to dance around to shine. It just has to be on, and then it shines. It doesn't have to do anything. It doesn't even have to move. So yes, and you're meant to simply be and to shine in the world, not by doing, but by embodying your essence. Your purpose lies in what inspires your heart. 15-6 monthly energy. The 6 is the heart space. Got it. And so, and through your presence, you effortlessly ripple light into the world. And the fourth paragraph is the action paragraph. So your action. Pause and listen deeply. What stirs your soul? What ignites your inner fire and draws you closer to your purpose? Seek out those whose energy mirrors your own and form a community that nourishes your spirit. Trust in the synchronicities that guide you and step forward into your light, offering others the peace and wisdom they have longed for. Beautiful. I love it, love it, love it. Okay, so let's carry on. Okay, so that was the card. Let me just hide floating meeting controls. There we go. Okay, so if your day and month of birth added to 9, 18, 27, or 36, then for the whole of 2026, you are in a personal year 1. And your personal month number is 6. And remember, the global month number is 15-6. And you're in a 1 year and a 6 month. So it aligns quite closely with what's going on globally this year. And the card that came up for you is soulful journaling. And I'm thinking, like, 1 year, 6 months, why soulful journaling? And then I was like, aha, it's number 61. And 6 plus 1 is 7, so it's a 61, 7. And the 7 has to do with the spiritual growth, the soul, the deep contemplation. And so it seems that if you are wanting to relocate, because it is a personal month 6, and you're thinking about where is home, and should you move, shouldn't you move, is it time, isn't it time, then it seems that journaling is going to be your way through everything. Just sit and write and write and write and see where that takes you. Okay, then if your day and month of birth adds to 10, 19, 28, or 37, then for the whole of 2026, you're in a personal year 2. And remember, the card that came up for this month was 29, 11, which adds to 11, which adds to 2. And so the card that came up very much aligns with this energy as well. And your personal month number is 7. Now, the 2 and the 7 are both deep water numbers that go on an inner journey and want to grow spiritually and find out the truth of what it is that they believe and what they stand for. And interestingly enough, what came up was coaching others. So the 2 is very intuitive. The 7 usually is a number that does specialize in something, but it's a number that seeks the truth, and it's a number that imparts knowledge. So if you've got any knowledge that you want to impart, and with this number 2 that you want to share with others, then have a look at how you can be coaching others. Anything that you know, 7, you can share the 2 with others, because there's somebody that always wants to know what it is that you know. And so 58, there we've got the 5, also from the month energy of the 15-6. The 5 is information that flows, it's the entrepreneur, and the 8 is a business. So it seems one of the things you can think about is what kind of entrepreneurial coaching business can you put together, and how can you make your knowledge work for you? How can you monetize that and help others at the same time? So if your day and month of birth adds to 2, 11, 20, 29, or 38, then your personal year energy for the whole of 2026 is a 3. And that makes your personal month number an 8. Okay, so now we have a little bit of a conflict here with the 3 and the 8. The 3 wants to play. It's the number of the child. It doesn't want to adult. It doesn't want responsibility. And it doesn't want to think about finances. Children don't think about working and finances and business and paying the rent and things like that. They just don't. They just want to have fun and they just want to play. They're uninhibited. They express and they sing and they are just joyful. So this is your year of expressing and being joyful, whether it is that you're designing things. Remember, kids love to draw and cut and color and paste. So you may be working online, you may be expressing yourself in public arena somewhere, or you may be expressing something that you're teaching others, whatever it is. Or you may be launching businesses this year that you're having plenty of events and social gatherings and so on. So the 3, you can see, if I were to cut the 8 in half, it would give me a 3. So where the 8 contains and doubles, which is why it's a business number that makes a lot of money, the 3 scatters. It wants to play. You know, it'll go into a bar and just say, oh, drinks on the house, I'm paying. You know, it doesn't give too much thought to money and finances. It just wants to have fun. And the month number is 8, where the focus is on business and getting ahead. So if you can combine the fun elements of your 3-year into your business without scattering and throwing it away behind you as you walk along the path, then that is going to stand you in really good stead. So see what your gifts are, your creative gifts and talents, and see how you can turn those into a business, how you can monetize those this month. The card that came up for you is also soulful journaling. So the 3, when it's evolved, it likes to disappear into the world of dreams and symbols, and it sees feathers lying around. It notices the praying mantis that's sitting on the window ledge. It sees numbers, 1111. It has dreams and things like that. And handwriting is also a symbol, which is why with the numerology, the numbers and the letters are all pictures. To me, they tell a whole entire story. And so perhaps it's through the art of writing, because writing is an art. And in the older days, people put a lot of emphasis on a beautiful, beautiful handwriting and calligraphy and things like that. These days, it's all just computer generated. So maybe through the art of soulful journaling, it's not just what you're writing, but it's the process of writing as well. And the unending infinity and writing cursive. When you're writing cursive, things flow. And so see what comes up for you regarding where you need to be, where you need to live, and how to turn your talents into a business. Then if your day and month of birth adds up to 3, 12, 21, 30 or 39, then for this entire year of 2026, you are in a personal year 4, and your personal month number is 9. Now the 4 and the 9 together want to complete things. The 4 is a completer. The 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 sides is a box. Okay, so the 4 wants to compartmentalize things. It wants to do the to-do list, and it wants to tick the boxes and complete. And number 9 is the number of completion, of letting go. And so there are things that you need to complete and let go of in this month. And this allows you to move forward without any anger, resentment, blame, either towards yourself or to others. And by releasing all of that and completing anything you're busy with, next month in June, you can start with a new project again. But there are things that you are wanting to complete. and then your year will actually like really get going next month. Okay, so let's see what card came up for you. So 4 and 9, and what came up here is two completely different numbers. 53, which is the entrepreneurial sales person. So perhaps you're busy doing the planning phase of your business, laying the foundations for your business this year. That's usually what happens in a 4-year. You do the planning, the budgeting, you buy the office block, or you renovate your home to turn a room into an office, or to add on some workspace, or somewhere where you can be making things, because the 4 is very good with its hands. So maybe it's welding steel and it's turning the garage into a workshop. Maybe it is planting things in the garden, and so it's building planting boxes and all kinds of things like that, in order to turn the garden or the farm into a working space where things are planted, and lay the foundations, which is the planting, so that things can grow. And the 9 is also got its other aspect to it, which is helping others and helping those in the community. So it could be that you're planting things, growing things, making things, and you're going to be taking it to the local market, or however it is that you choose to sell whatever it is that you are making. And it feels to me like something that you are making or growing or building, and that needs to be monetized and turned into sales. So there is a little bit of a theme coming through in these cards, that things need to be monetized, and people need to move around the globe to get to where it is that they need to be, in the groups of people where they are going to feel that they now have like-minded souls with them. So if your day and month of birth adds up to 4, 13, 22, 31, or 40, then this video is for you, and you are in a personal year 5 for the entire 2026. And that makes your personal month number a number 1. So 5 year, 1 month, and we are now globally in a 1 year and a 15/6 global month. So your energy is very much aligned to what is going on globally. And so you are in a year where you are in danger of burning yourself out. Like you are on the run. You've got so many ideas. You like a cat on a hot tin roof. You don't know which way to turn. You don't know which way to go. And there are too many things going on. So what I want to say to you this month is set your goals. And the word that comes to mind is prioritize. So prioritize what needs to be done first. What is your first goal? What is the second one? And what are the steps needed to go about achieving that? And so this fits in very well with what's going on now. So if you are in a personal year 5, then you have obviously come in this particular let's say phase of going into this new era. You are obviously here as one of the movers and shakers, one of those who are bringing in and downloading information that's new, exciting, and different, and setting those goals and taking the steps to put it into place. So you've probably incarnated with a very specific goal to be part of this movement this year particularly. And the card that's come up for you is the number 19. Now the number 19 is actually the malefic number, which means that there is negative karma attached to it that is gained from the number 1 that oversteps its role. So the number 1 is the innovator, the leader, the one that takes charge. And the number 19 is the one that says, it's my way or the highway, and I will step on whoever I need to step on to get what it is that I want and to get ahead in life. But the positive side of this 19 says, when I can let go of the ego and the need to be seen and recognized, but I use my power and I use my leadership for this number 9, which is to uplift those who don't have a voice, who can't speak for themselves. In other words, you standing in now on behalf of humanity, not walking all over humanity. And so the title of this is Go Big or Go Home. So go big, okay? And step up for those that need your leadership in a way that's going to make a difference to others in a beautiful, positive way. So there we go. There's a tall order for you, and to beware of stepping into the ego or manipulating others. Okay. Right. So if your day and month of birth adds up to 5, 14, 23, 32, or 41, then you're in a personal year 6 for the entire 2026. And your personal month number is a 2. Now, the 6 and the 2 together are very loving, very caring, very helpful. But both of them have a downside. The 2 tends to feel a little bit unappreciated, unnoticed, unseen, unheard. And the 6 tends to be a little bit codependent. It tends to do too much for others. Sometimes it can be a little bit bossy. Sometimes it can be interfering, although it wants to help. But the 6 is being of service and helping others, but not at the expense of yourself. And the 2 says you need to listen and slow down, because the 2 triggers the immune system, and triggering is a word that goes together with number 2. So the number 2 gets very sensitive, it becomes triggered, and then the 6 becomes very emotional. So to navigate this month, you need to slow down, okay? If you don't slow down, your immune system is going to get you and get you to lie still for a while. So don't let it get to that, okay? So slow down, go with the flow, and take care of yourself. I can't tell you how many of my friends are saying, Janet, I'm talking specifically of my girlfriends, because I don't have that many guy friends, but I've got lots of girlfriends. So they've all been voicing to me, Janet, we're tired. We've been carrying so much responsibility, and that's what the 6 is. We've been carrying so much responsibility for so long. It's time to take care of ourselves. And this is what the 6 year is about. Taking care of yourself, even though the family has been waiting for you so that they can have their tonsils out, and your in-laws can move in with you, and all kinds of things like that can happen within the family. But you need to be gentle on yourself, and you need to listen to your body and to your intuition and do the self-love thing. Remember, if you've got children, you've got another child that you may have forgotten about, and that's your inner child. And that child needs you to parent it as well, because it's still very, very sensitive from things that happened in childhood maybe, and maybe still triggered by that. So the card that came up is card number 71, which is illusion versus reality. And this one stumps me a little bit, in the sense that I'm not quite sure how to interpret it with this, but let's go for it. So the 2 and the 7 are both water numbers. They feel very deeply and they think very deeply. And the 7 is about self-development, okay? And remember, the 6 is about self-love. So maybe by doing the spiritual work and the spiritual self-development, you learn to recognize what it is that your heart and your inner child need. And then when we add the 1 to that, then we add that we need to stand in our power. Now the 1 is the opposite to the number 2. The 2 is the yin, the 1 is the yang. So it's almost like we need to take yang action to do the spiritual work so that these softer skills, the softer side of us, can develop in a better way. And that we need to be careful of what is illusion and what is reality, because that 7 wants you to find your truth. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to actually open the book. I'm going to see, because there's something that feels like I need to connect here. Okay, muscle testing again. Okay, first paragraph, second. Okay, the second paragraph is the shadow side. So let's see what that says. Perhaps you are a shrewd business person, or selfishness clouds your path. Perhaps you feel, sorry, that's a fly. Perhaps you feel trapped in a relentless fight for survival, masking inner turmoil behind facades. Okay, so feeling trapped in a relentless fight for survival, that can be the number 6, where you are overly responsible and very responsible for taking care of children and family, maybe financially as well. And masking inner turmoil behind facades. That number 2 can put up a facade, because the number 2 can mimic and mime others' behavior. So it may be mimicking and miming, you know, the behavior of everyone around you. And you know what people are like? Hi, how are you? I'm fine, thanks. How are you? But no, people are not fine. Go away, fly. So perhaps loneliness fuels emotional drama. Ah, there we go. Perhaps loneliness. So the 2 wants to be noticed, seen. It wants a partner. It wants somebody that understands it. And so the 2, when it feels unheard, unseen, unrecognized, unappreciated, can feel very lonely and very sorry for itself. And then it says it can fuel emotional drama. And the 6 is a very emotional number. And so absolutely this number is saying that sometimes you believe your own illusions. In other words, what this is saying, this is what I believe to be the crux of the matter, is don't trust your emotions alone. Do the analysis. Step into your power and look at things unemotionally and see what it is that you can do, physically do, to change the trajectory of things. And so the illusion can be that you're lonely and very emotional, where the reality is that you just need to look at it in a different way and unpack it in a different way. So perhaps you avoid the spotlight, yet still attract negative attention. Perhaps you mistrust what cannot be seen, turning away from the spiritual dimensions of life. So it is a calling to bring back the spiritual dimensions of life. Okay. So personal year 7, if your month and day of birth adds up to 6, 15, 24, 33, or 42. And for the entire 2026, and your personal month number is a 3. Okay, so here I can actually feel myself taking a deep breath. Here comes a little bit of a reprieve for the 7 year. And I'm taking a deep breath because this is my personal year number right now is a 7. And this personal month 3 is very welcome because the 7 withdraws, it wants to be on its own, it wants to recharge its batteries, it needs quiet, it needs peace. And I have moved out into the country, into a little cottage all on my own, and I'm loving it. 7 year. I think beyond the end of this year, I won't want to be here specifically any longer. It's very, very remote. But at the moment, I'm loving it. But now, this month in May, the 3 is the opposite to the 7. The 7 is the introvert, and the 3 is the extrovert. So I might feel now in May that this is a little bit too remote for me, and that I want to get out and about a little bit more. But luckily, I've got friends all over the world, and I can communicate with them via Zoom and so on without leaving my safe little retreat that I have made for myself for this year. So the 7 is the introvert, the 3 is the extrovert, but both of these numbers are very spiritual numbers and also very intellectual numbers. So if there's anything that you want to study, whether it's intellectual or spiritual, any course that you want to do for self-development, then May is a very good time to do that. And if you have to do any socializing or launches or public speaking or anything this year, then choose May to do that, okay? And so what the number that came up here is number 25. 2 and 5 is 7. And so the 2 and the 5 together suggests that mentally there's too much going on, and that mentally one has to just slow down a little bit from the analysis and over-analysis and the mind that is just going round and round in circles and trying to process years and years of stuff. And so the 25 might actually push you to go for frequency healing. So it's a very good idea to go for a healing session, something that brings in frequency healing, which can be sound healing, can be kinesiology, it can be any one of those modalities. And so that will just help you integrate everything that's going on around you and within you. So if your day and month of birth adds to 7, 16, 25, 34, or 43, then you are in a personal year 8 in 2026. And your personal month number is 4. Now, here in May, with the 8 and the 4, there is inattention, okay? The 8 and the 4 are both earth numbers. They're both very kind of logical, let's get things done kind of numbers, but in a very different way, okay? And so the inner conflict here is the 4 says, I need to work hard. I need to put in the hours. I need to work hard to earn a living. And the 8 says, no, I don't need to work harder. I need to work smarter. And then even though I am working longer hours than what the number 4 is working, I'm going to double up at least on what the number 4 is earning. So the number 4 is a square, right? It's a box. Now, if you double that, you've got 2 boxes on top of each other, and that rounded out gives you the number 8. Now, the number 4 likes to do things in a slow and a steady way. The work of the 4 is typically the spreadsheet stuff, the admin stuff, the community service stuff, whether it's being a policeman or whether it is helping people sort out their water and lights accounts. Very, very necessary, the number 4. But the number 8 is not going to do that. The number 8 will employ somebody like that. But the number 8 is notorious for not wanting to delegate. So the number 8 often ends up doing all the admin and everything themselves, where they could be employing somebody and using their time in a different way, because the 8 has to do with currency, and the only currency is not money. Money is a currency, but so is time, so is love, so is health. And so there will be a little bit of a conflict here between the 4 and the 8. And the two of them together can be very impatient and not always too kind to people around them. Very process driven and very outcomes and money driven. So remember to soften it a little bit. Let's see what card came up for you. Also frequency healing. At the beginning of this video, I said that there were 2 cards that had come up twice each, and frequency healing is one of them. The other one is soulful journaling. So soulful journaling and frequency healing both came up twice, and both of them, their numbers add up to 7. So there's a lot of inner thinking, a lot of inner processing happening all over the globe at the moment, and wanting to spiritually align with purpose. That's the feeling that I get. So go for a frequency healing, just so that one can soften the effects of this on the body, because the 4 and the 8 can be very, very harsh on the body, and you can drive yourself too hard, be too relentless, and too outcomes focused, without remembering that you are not a machine. So if your day and month of birth adds to 8, 17, 26, or 35, then you're in a personal year 9 for the whole of 2026. Personal year 9 is wrapping up loose ends. It's letting go. It's healing. It's cleaning the slate. It's clearing the path to move forward next year without any baggage. Very emotional year. And your personal month number is 5. And this number 5 can be very spontaneous, very, what is the word I'm looking for? There's another word for spontaneous that I'm looking for. Anyway, it does things without thinking, and it speaks without thinking. It's the throat chakra. So it speaks and it says things, and it's got its foot in its mouth before it's even thought of what it's saying. So the 9 being very emotional, and the 5 not thinking about what they're saying, can be quite a volatile combination, especially for verbal fighting or for verbal attacks or responses and things like that. And, even doing things without thinking properly, because the 9 gives a weakness in the ankles, because the 9 has to do with the kidney energy. And the meridian for the kidney energy runs through the ankles. And the 5, when it's unbalanced and it's a little bit spinning a little bit out of control, too much hay on its fork, it's not grounded, and it can do silly things and cause accidents. So be very aware where you're placing your feet, and stop and breathe and think before you do or say anything if you can. And this 5 has also got to do with movement. So you may be thinking of moving. One doesn't generally move in a 9 year for some reasons, but from October onwards, yes. So you may be thinking, I really need to finish up here where I'm living. I really don't want to stay here anymore. This is not where I see myself going into my new cycle next year. Where am I going to move to? Maybe you're putting out CVs. Maybe you're searching for other jobs. Maybe you are becoming more entrepreneurial and deciding you're going to do it for yourself. Whatever it is, there's a lot of thought going on, and it's a very emotional year of letting go. So it's deciding what to keep and what to let go of. And then once you've done that, what am I going to bring in that's new, exciting, and different into my life? but just be aware that it's a very volatile month, so don't get into arguments. Okay, and the card that's come up, I rest my case. 24/6 is harmonious home. The 4 says self-discipline. This 5 that wants to gush and shout and get aggravated. The 4 says self-discipline that. And the 2 says with kindness, togetherness. And the 2 and the 4 together give us 6. And the 6 is all about the harmonious home. And remember, the energy globally is a 15/6 for May. So that 6 has to do with a home. And it's got the 1 and the 5 behind it. So it's got the 5 as well. So the 2 and the 4 are wanting you to kind of just, I don't know if there is such a word, but gentlify and consolidate and kind of tone down and think logically about things and bring things into a togetherness space and a stable routine kind of environment, which will help you to deal with these other energies. Breathe it in, trust your rhythm, and return next month. And please like this video, please subscribe, and in that way you are more likely to catch all the videos I'm putting out at the moment. And I'm putting out a lot of content. So if you enjoy the numerology, subscribe to this channel. There's lots coming. So, to purchase your very own deck of numerology oracle cards, or to purchase and download an ebook or the trilogy of ebooks, you can go to my website, janetsnumerology.com. And if you would like to book a numerology reading or to study numerology with me, these are my handbooks, then you can also go to my website, janetsnumerology.com, and you'll see all the tabs there. So I look forward to seeing you again next month. Have a beautiful month of May. We are really gaining traction now. April was the beginning, and even in my life, lots of things came my way. Lots of things are happening, lots of things are changing, and now people are thinking, okay, now where do I need to move to? Where do I need to position myself? So have fun, guys, and I'll see you again next month. Okay, bye for now.